Hi readers, it's Lori. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my big book summer readathon pile of possibilities. So if you're not familiar, as I was not familiar, Sue Jackson does a readathon called Big Book Summer. And I heard about this from Melinda on a web of stories who said she was going to participate in Big Book Summer. And it felt like I could knock off some things that are loose ends for me, as well as a couple of things that I have recently acquired or have been wanting to read for a while. So Sue Jackson's channel is called Sue Jackson. She is a freelance writer. She reviews books frequently and she specializes in travel, food, family, health, those kinds of things, reviews of books. And I'm going to link the blog below to share with you kind of how this big book summer came up. This is her second year, I think. Also her channel. I'll try to link her channel for you. So the big book challenge, you only have to read one or two or however many big books you choose that you'd like to read. The definition of a big book for Sue's purpose in this readathon is that it has to be 400 pages or more. And the readathon starts on Memorial Day, which is coming up this weekend, the Memorial Day weekend, and it ends on Labor Day weekend. So that's really all you need to know. There is a Goodreads group, which I am probably going to join. And I love Sue Jackson's channel. I'm really excited about this. So let's get started. All right, guys, here's some of my loose ends. Let's talk about that first. The Forgotten Garden, Kate Morton. I picked it for a spring read. It has flowers on the cover, but it's probably just as easily read in the summer. I would really like to get to a Kate Morton this summer. Will it be this Kate Morton? I don't know, but I really want to get through this because it is a book I'd like to read, and I want to read a Kate Morton. I'm ready for a Kate Morton. This one is over 644 pages, so there's that, but I probably will listen to this. My sense is that that might be the way to go for that, so that's one possibility. The Book That Wouldn't Burn, I always had trouble with this, by Mark Lawrence. I had this on a challenge pile. I was planning to read it. I read every other book but this one. I think it was one of my 5-star predictions last year. I think that's what it was. So I'd like to get to this as a loose end, and it is a chunker. It is 566 pages long, but it's a fantasy. It's dark. I remember it says somewhere here, if you like dark, you'll love Mark Lawrence. So Ever has lived his whole life trapped within a vast library, older than empires and larger than cities. Levira has spent hers in a tiny settlement out on the dust where no one goes and nightmares stalk. The world has never noticed them. That's about to change. Look at this cover, though. It's just stunning. All books, no matter their binding, will fall to dust. The stories they carry may last longer. They may outlive the paper, the library, even the language in which they were first written. The greatest story can reach the stars. Yeah, I think I need to get to that one as a loose end, but also as a big book. And then another loose end, had this for a while. I've tried to read it more than once. Not that it's not good, just haven't been committed to the big book that it is, but it is Andy Weir's Project Hail Mary. My son loved it. My son-in-law, I think, loved it. I have loved Andy Weir's The Martian. I didn't read the second one, the name of which I cannot recall. Perhaps it says Artemis. I did not read Artemis. My son has Artemis, but I would love to get this one read. This one begins with an astronaut. I think his name is Ryland. And Ryland wakes up on a spaceship and he has no memory of who he is, what's happening. He's very disoriented. An AI voice starts to talk to him and says some things that help him to reconnect to who he is. And then he discovers that all the crewmates on his spaceship are dead and that he has to complete this one mission to save the Earth. And it's, I'm sure, fast-paced. The Martian was. Why I haven't gotten to it, I can't tell you. Another one that I've had for at least a year, maybe a little bit longer, is Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. This one is a retelling of David Copperfield. And she definitely got a lot of praise for this book. A lot of people have really loved this. Kate Atkinson says it's the best book she'll read this year. This one follows Demon, who is born to a single mother and almost dies. And then he is fighting his way through the poverty of the Appalachian Mountains and through the circumstances that have created the life that he lives in. And it says he's born on the wrong side of luck. I would love to get to that. I could listen to that probably too. This one I was just sent to, it was just sent to me for free. I know. Right after the No Buy Challenge, I got this in the mail. I was not expecting it. It came with a note that said, hey, we're going to do a group read of this on it for a team that I'm on. And so here you go. This one is by John A. Powell and Stephen Menendian, Belonging Without Othering, How We Save Ourselves and the World. They talk about the division around religion, race, ethnicity, caste, and sexuality, how pervasive it is, how to understand this problem, and how to hopefully transition from narrow to expansive identities, even if that means challenging seemingly benevolent forms of community building based on othering. This one sounds like I might have to read it during this period of time, so that's why I'm adding it. It's 424 pages with the index. So it's pretty, and it's heavy. You know how some books are just so much heavier than others? This one is heavy in weight as well as probably in content. Then, these are so heavy, these big books. I recently acquired this from my Book of the Month add-on, Amor Towles' Gentleman in Moscow. I have wanted to read this for years. The miniseries came out on Apple TV, perhaps, somewhere it is. And I thought I've just really got to read this so I can watch that series with Ewan McGregor. Although a lot of people aren't fans of Ewan McGregor as the main character, the Count Alexander Rostov in this particular novel, but Alexander Rostov in the 1930s is 1922, is 30 years old, and he's been arrested by the Bolshevik tribunal, and he is sentenced to house arrest in the Metropole, which is across the street from the Kremlin, and he has to stay there while also meeting other people that are staying in this hotel and trying to figure out how to, I think the point of this is how to create purpose in your life when you are incarcerated and maybe without purpose. That one is 462 pages long. And then this last one on my pile of possibilities is 576 pages long. It is a weightlifting experience. This is Amor Towles' The Lincoln Highway, which I was told to read in the summer. So that's why I'm really putting this forward, because everybody I've listened to who talks about this says you need to read this in the summer. So it starts in the summer. In June of 1954, 18-year-old Emmett Watson is dropped off after he's been released from a prison, juvenile work farm, for 15 months because he committed involuntary manslaughter. So he goes home to where he doesn't have much of a family left since he was incarcerated, except for his little brother. And he picks up his little brother and they're going to drive cross country to California. However, the synopsis says that there are some people, maybe some nefarious people, that are hiding in the trunk of the car, and they have other, I guess, intentions for what Emmett is going to do when they start this drive. So he drives from Nebraska to somewhere else. And this is a book that's told in 10 days from multiple points of view. And the buzz I've gotten on this is that everybody really enjoys it. So which one will I start with? I probably will start with Project Hail Mary on Kindle. And maybe it's either between The Tainted Cup or this one, to be honest. This one really, yeah. And because it starts in June, I would like to get to it sooner than later. But we'll see. I could change my mind. You never know. Thanks for watching. Thanks for learning about Big Book Summer with me. And let me know what you're going to read, if anything, for Big Book Summer. If you plan to participate, again, you only just have to read one book to say, I participated in the Big Book Summer Readathon. But I have a feeling I'm going to try to read at least, I would like to read at least 3 of these by the end of the summer. So we'll see. Thanks again. Let me know how things are going for you. And as always, happy reading. Bye.